Hello, everyone. I'm Rebecca Lombardo, host of VendorVibes and fractional CMO. Today, I'm here with Grace from Lucia. Hi, Grace.
Hi there, how are you doing?
Good. Thank you for joining me.
Yeah, such a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so tell me, what is Lucia?
Yeah, so Lucia is an incredible platform that's similar to like an Upwork or Fiverr. If you're at all familiar with those kind of companies, we are a freelancer marketplace that connects travel and hospitality companies with vetted and experienced freelancers for any type of work, whether it's admin, marketing, you name it, operational. We connect contractors all over the world.
So, what makes you guys unique?
Yeah, there's a lot of specific companies out there that do things like VA services or helping find contractors for housekeeping services, for example. There's a few things, though, that keep us really distinct. So we primarily focus on virtual-based work. So we're not doing anything that's necessarily in person per se, at least not yet. And all of our contractors are deeply, deeply vetted. So they come to us, they apply to us. We have over a multi-hundred person wait list. We individually vet every person and they need to have experience in the industry. They can't just be someone that's really interested and wants to get involved. You have to have multiple years experience. We test you for those skill sets, make sure that you have all the knowledge you say you do. You do a background check. And then once you're even on our platform, we're continuously monitored. We make sure that you have high retaining ratings and reviews. And if you're not meeting our certain standards, then we have no problem removing someone that isn't a good fit. And so we keep a really specific niche group of those contractors.
That's amazing. So, I have a million questions, but I'm going to try and keep it to like three.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do people need to have in order to work with you guys or sign up?
Yeah, if you're joining us as a freelancer, which we call co-pilots, they need to be someone that has a few years working experience. On the side of the customer, though, someone that might be signing up to join us, there is no restrictions to signing up. Although if you're not in the short-term rental industry or the broader hospitality industry, you're probably not going to find any great solutions with us. I came from a luxury hospitality background, and so that's a key part of our focus is keeping hospitality to its core. We aren't just luxury anymore per se, but we do have a quite a wide spanning net. But unless you're in the hospitality or travel space, you're not going to find any great support here from us.
Yeah, that was going to be my kind of follow-up question is what does your ideal persona look like?
Yeah, so we work with a few different types of businesses. So one obviously being short-term rentals and then property managers and owners. If you're coming to us, you might be looking for someone that can help just keep track of all the administrative duties. So that's something like you bring in a VA for typically. Or you want someone to help do OTA optimization, things like that. Or maybe it's social media or marketing, things like that. So anyone that's in that short-term rental space, it could be either a property manager or owner. In terms of size of the business, we tend to look for small to medium sized businesses. We're not working with any of the companies that are maybe working with multiple hundreds of properties. They probably have their own internal team at that point. We're more looking for the smaller size business owners that are really looking to help grow their team, but also looking for a great financially responsible way of doing that too.
Sounds good to me. And are you working with people inside the US, outside the US? How does that work?
That's one of the things that does help make us different too. We are predominantly focused in the US, at least with our contractors. Of course, we have support internationally, Philippine based, South America, South Africa, of course. But a good majority, I would say over about 90% of our freelancers are actually based here in the US. So that's a really key part of what makes us a little bit different in that sense too. We don't turn anyone away based on location though. So we have plenty of contractors that are even across Europe and Australia as well.
Excellent. So, what would you say is kind of like a nice little anecdote you could possibly share with us about a happy customer experience?
Sure, of course. I would say right now, the most niche and specific thing that a lot of people are looking for is a lot of help with their social media. So, for the folks that are trying to create and focus on direct bookings, social media per se isn't always the reason you're going to necessarily get customers all the time, but it is a lot of reasons that people either find you or stay loyal to you. And so for us, we focus on helping building that relationship with customers through social. But again, you're not necessarily looking to bring on multiple content creators. You're not looking to bring on an agency. You just want someone who's a bit hungry, knows what they're doing, and very affordable. So I would say a good instance of that is that we had a property owner that owns 3 different properties, all based in a certain part of upstate New York. They're a pretty small business owner, and they just wanted someone to help run and manage their socials. That went increasingly well to the point that they now manage their email marketing, text-based marketing as well, and have helped increase the direct bookings for them. But it just started with focusing on just creating content for them. And that person did it all digitally and remotely, which is an important part of that. They didn't necessarily need to be on site. They helped the business owner create and capture some of the content that then they repurposed for them. And so it became a really mutually beneficial relationship without having to like pay creators come to their property or anything like that.
Do you guys work with the clients to find people, or is it literally like these other platforms where you just go and search on your own?
Yeah, good question. The hospitality part of me will never leave. And so, no, we don't just let anyone sign up and say you're on your own. If anything, you're more than welcome to do that, of course. The platform is self-service if you're brave enough to poke around and just dive into it on your own. But we really recommend doing a demo with us. We will help match you, make suggestions, and help pair you with a co-pilot that we think is a really great fit for you in your price range and has the availability that you need. So if you're interested in working with us, we highly recommend demoing with us because we'll make that match for you and help you with that. No matter if it's for one project, a multi-year project, or you're working with a bunch of different people at once. But of course, if you're brave enough to do it on your own, you're more than welcome to.
And one last question. How long have you been doing this?
Yeah, so I started out in the travel side of the industry as a travel advisor. So that's where part of this more of the travel side of things comes from. And we work with a lot of travel advisors too, before we expanded into short-term rentals. But I've been in the industry now for over 8 years, but we started building Lucia about 5 years ago. So this has been definitely a labor of love. And then during the pandemic, pre-pandemic, we did this over email. There was no, platform. It was the way that a lot of contracting companies work now, where you're asking for a contractor for something, they'll email back recommendations, and then you work with them on a contract. We built the platform for it though during the pandemic. There was a bit of a lull, and it was a good opportunity for us to kind of focus on building the tech side of it too.
Excellent. So if somebody's listening to this and they want to learn more, what's the best way?
Well, if you just want to learn more about how it works or just information about Lucia, our website's a great start. Obviously, if you want to consider working with us, I recommend going to our website, which is letslucia.com, and then choosing to book a demo. You'll get me. So you'll have a one-on-one demo with me. I'd still take all of our demos individually, and then I'll help match you with someone. If you just want to learn along, though, and just kind of be in the loop with us, you can always sign up for our newsletter, and we try to send out a lot of educational content there as well.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time today. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Cheers, everyone.